We are actually going to start in Supta Padangusthasana with these straps. It's a reclined leg stretch, which will feel good for all of you, especially for Martin, your lower back, and for anyone who's like, you guys have been doing a lot of other stuff, really restorative. So all you're going to do, watch just quickly, and then I'll talk you through it a bunch of times because it gets a little confusing sometimes. This one strap is going around the ball of the left foot and the top of the right thigh. And now I started out big, but now I'm realizing for my length of leg that I have to tighten this up. But it's all the way, it's not on the thigh like this, it's literally up where my leg folds. So that's a good thing to do, is just kind of fold your leg and be like, you want the strap there, and you want it tight because you want it to cut in a little bit. The other strap goes around the ball of your extended leg foot, and it goes behind your back. So you're gonna look, I've got this hair thing in, you're gonna look something like this. Okay? Now check out my arms really quickly. Like this is all the way up under my armpit, and I'm in Shavasana here. Like I've got the palms turned up, the heart open, and now I want some resistance on these straps, but I also want to be able to straighten my legs totally. So if I can't, my strap is too tight. But you do want resistance on the strap because that's creating the work in the body. So start out with one strap around the ball of your left foot and the top of your right thigh, and then lay down. And then take the second strap around the ball of your right foot, and your right leg is going to go up in the air. And then tuck it behind your chest so it comes right underneath your armpits. And I'll come around, so just see what, do the best you can. It's a little bit confusing to get into. Yeah, good. So your left leg is on the ground, your right leg is in the air. That's it, Joyce. And get this out of the way. Yep. Ball of your left foot, top of your right thigh, very top. So if you fold your leg, where your leg folds, that's where the strap is. And then ball of your right foot, and right underneath your armpits. And then Shavasana arms, turning your palms to face up. Yeah, tucking your shoulders slightly underneath you. Good. Neutral head. Put this leg on the floor, Martin. So this has to be looser. A lot looser, actually. That's all right. Stretch that leg out straight. Take this all the way up in the hip crease. Yep, now stretch the left leg out straight and really press the back of the left thigh into the floor. So everyone press the back of the left leg into the floor. Now make this looser so that you can straighten this leg. Bend the knee more. There you go. Now stretch it straight. Press. And if you need it even bigger, better. You can make it even bigger if you need to. Just be able to stretch both legs totally straight. And the arms don't have to be out like a T shape. Let them be Shavasana. They're a little closer to the sides of your body. That's it. And then turn your palms, roll your palms to face the ceiling. Roll the thumbnail side of your hand towards the ground. So this is a restorative class. So we're going to restore ourselves. Hold poses for a little bit longer than we would in an open level class, in a vinyasa class. Feel, though, there's a lot of work going on here. Feel the resistance in the straps. And if it's not enough, tighten up those straps. Spread the toes of both feet. Yeah, spread open the soles of your feet. Spread open the soles of your feet. And then press down the back of your left thigh as you reach up, as you extend up through the right leg. Do you feel the work going on? I mean, you're getting a hamstring opening for sure, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. We're going to start to coordinate with the action with the breath. So on the inhalation, think about sending the breath down the body into the press of the back of your left thigh into the floor. And then you'll notice that there's a little back bend, like the chest expands a little bit. On the exhalation, draw the navel towards the spine. Allow the back body to broaden along the ground. Yeah, and allow the leg to maybe come in a little bit closer. So take a longer, slower, smoother in-breath, pressing the back of your left thigh into the ground. And then a longer, slower, smoother out breath where the right leg comes in. That's it. Open up the backs of both knees, open up the hamstrings, open up the calves. Breathing in through your nose, down your body. This, all the way up here. So maybe it needs to be bigger. A little bit bigger. Now press the foot through it, and right, even more, like Marnie, right underneath the armpit. Like stick it right up in your armpit, really. It's almost like a little fish pose. Yup, there you go. That's it, Joyce. Now, our left leg generally wants to turn out here. It generally wants to drop open. So the work is to turn it in and press it to the floor. The right leg generally wants to hike up. That right hip generally wants to hike up. So release the right outer hip towards the left foot. Yeah. So you're turning in more your left leg, and you're turning out slightly more your right leg. So there's a lot of subtle work going on in the body. That's it. Now stretch the leg even straighter and feel that work. Yeah. Your spine is neutral, so the lower back, those lumbar vertebrae, they're probably slightly off the ground. Long, slow, smooth inhalation. Feel the press of the back of your left leg and a slight arch in your lower back. This is actually really good for back issues. Long, slow, smooth exhalation. Feel the hollowing of the belly and the broadening of the back body. And we'll just take 5 more breaths here. Spread your toes again. Wake up your feet. Wake up your legs. Open the backs of your legs. Use the breath. Allow the breath to massage your spine. Soften your eyes. Maybe even close your eyes. Soften the skin of your face. Soften and relax your jaw. Soften and relax your tongue inside your mouth. And if you had only one strap, this is, we're using 2 straps today to feel specifically the rooting of the top of the right thigh bone into the hamstring. But if you only had one strap, you can still just lasso that lifted leg foot with your strap and still get a lot of work here, a lot of opening. Your breath is, again, it's massaging your spine, but it's also there's a slight undulation. So you're searching in your spine for neutral. And laying on the floor gives you a lot of information in regards to that. Feel the parts of your back that make contact with the floor. Feel the parts of your back that don't make contact with the floor. Feel the natural curves of your spine. Longer, slower, smoother breath in. That's it. And longer, slower, smoother breath out. Good. Okay, and then we're going to switch. So bend the right leg and just take that strap off that foot, but leave it behind your upper back because you'll need it there again. And then just stretch down your right leg. Take the strap that's around the ball of your left foot and put it around the ball of your right foot. And then bend your left leg into your chest. And take that strap all the way up at the top of your thigh where your leg folds. And then the strap that's around your chest, you'll lasso your left foot, and then you'll stretch your left leg straight up. That's it. Good, breathing. And again, if you need some assistance, let me know. Get all tangled up. What's going on? Okay, so keep that around your chest. Put it up here. Leave it alone for now. Okay, now that strap, this foot. Marnie. How you doing? Oh, you're good, actually. I'm impressed. Good, so let the strap at the top of the left thigh really cut in, make it tight enough. Strap at the top of the left thigh, it's rooting the left thigh bone into the hamstring. Do you feel? Yeah. And it actually could be even tighter. Okay. The strap's kind of twisted though. Yeah. Because we have this general principle of alignment, which is the thigh bones always want to move into the backs of the legs, which is actually really important for anyone with lower back issues. So press down right now the back of the right thigh into the floor. Good. So that right leg has to do a lot of work. Press down the back of the right thigh. Good. Now allow the left leg to come in more with your exhalation and open up through the left hamstring and open up through the back of the left knee and open up through the left calf muscle. Take a longer, slower, that's about it, huh? That's fine though. You're working the legs really straight though, which is great. Longer, slower, smoother inhalation presses the back of the right thigh down. There's a little back bend that happens in the chest with the in-breath. With the out-breath, navel to spine, left leg comes in closer. Good, spread your toes. That's it, spread open the backs of your knees. This strap too tight again. Stay a few more breaths, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Now, can you internally rotate your right leg slightly more and externally rotate your left leg slightly more, releasing the outer left hip, the fibers of the outer left hip and butt down towards the right foot. Bring it slightly over, right there. Two more breaths, breathing in through the nose, sliding that breath down the body, breathing out through the nose. Open up the backs of your legs, spread your toes again, wake up the soles of your feet. And then release, bend the knee, take the straps off. And staying on your backs, just go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze the legs into the chest. Good. Reach up, grab a hold of your feet and take happy baby pose. Just pull down on your feet. That's right, yeah. So use the arms, pull down on the feet. Lay the head back, soften the skin of your face. Put both feet on the ground again with the knees bent. This time, we're going to take just one strap. Take the loop out of one of your straps. Actually, take the loop out and have your block within your reach. And then roll up to sit just for 1 second and just get a visual here. We're going to lie on the backs and we're going to put this block right up against the outside of the right hip. And it's going to create like a break. And then we're going to lasso this foot with the strap again. So here we are, we've already done this with 2 straps, but now we're doing it with 1. And we're just grounding this leg down and we're extending this leg up. We're going to take a few breaths here. Then, holding the strap just in the same hand as the foot, open the leg out to the side. Now this block is going to stop me from doing something like this. So this block is really nice, and you'll feel it'll kind of dig in a little bit, and you'll go, but you're going to press down the back of the left thigh, you're going to roll down the left side of your waist, you're going to roll down the left ribs, yeah, and then you'll look over your, well, no, we won't do that today. We'll just gaze up at the ceiling. So everyone have the strap in the right foot again, right foot lassoed by your strap. Stretch your right leg straight up, stretch your left leg straight down. Have the block up against the outside of the right hip, but don't do anything else yet. Yep, so just take that leg stretch again and let your energy settle. Let your energy settle. Feel the earth. Feel the back body and its relationship to the floor that you're laying on. If you were to close your eyes here, we tend to be very frontally oriented people, and our eyes, our sight is the strongest sense for most of us. So we're constantly projecting ourselves into the front body and into the future as well. So take the opportunity in yoga, we don't often lie on our backs throughout the course of a single day until we go to sleep at night. So take this opportunity to feel the earth, to feel the back, and to allow your energy to settle more into that back body. So with the eyes closed as well, recede the eyes back, soften the front brain towards the back brain. And just feel the back of the left thigh continuing to relate and push and press into the earth. That's pretty active there. It's not, we're in a restorative pose, but there's still some work taking place. Actively press the back of your left leg into the floor as you draw your right leg in just a tiny bit more. As you draw your right leg in, though, don't do it at the expense of bending. You want the leg fully extended. So no point in bending the leg, then you stop working the hamstring. Straighten the leg, reach, press the right foot through the strap as if you intend to rip the strap with the extension of your right leg, and then maybe allow it to come in slightly closer to your face. Good. Now go ahead, take both ends of your strap in your right hand. With your left hand, just put your left hand on your left waist. Yep. Now go ahead and start to open the right leg slowly out to the right and let it get stopped by the block. The second break, the block is one break, like your brakes in your car. The block is one break. The second break is your right arm. Bend your right arm in such a way that the back of your right upper arm presses into the ground. That's it. If you happen to be that wide open, some of us are not. And then roll your belly. Take your left hand to the right side of your belly and roll your belly. Just slide the skin. Just take your hand from right to left, from right side of belly to left side of belly, and tone down the left waist, the left side of your belly. Now, externally rotate your right leg more and more and more so that if your foot were to come to the ground, your baby toe would touch before your outer heel. That's external rotation. Your baby toe would touch first. Your outer heel would not touch. Inhale, swing the right leg back to center. Good. Now take both ends of the strap in the left hand and we're just going to twist. So before we twist, bend the left leg and put the left foot on the ground. Scoot your hips 1 inch or so over to the right. Re-extend your left leg along the floor, and now take your right leg all the way across your body into a twist. And if the foot doesn't make it to the ground, you could grab your block and place it underneath your right shin or your right foot. If you happen to have a bolster, the bolster feels really nice there as well, underneath your right leg. Now stretch your right arm out to the right and look over your right shoulder. Look towards your right fingertips. Now we still have some of the work going on where we want to look at the rotation that's taking place in the legs. Externally rotate your right leg more and roll your outer right hip towards the front of your mat. That's it. So that's going to create some length in the right waist, and it's going to create some opening through your iliotibial band, your IT band. Good for athletes, for sure, especially if you run. Take a few more breaths. That's it. 2 more. Good, Martin. Yeah, it's a little different, right? That one little thing makes a huge difference. I'm going to try to give you all this feeling of this external rotation because it's pretty strong in the body. It's a little action, but it's a lot different. Do you feel that? Okay, and then when you're ready, go ahead and inhale. Lift your right leg back to the center. Yeah. And then release that side. Yeah, good. So release that side. Put your block on the other side, right up against the outside of the left hip. Lasso your left foot with your strap and take your left leg straight up into the air. Supta means supine or reclined. Padangustasana, hand to big toe pose. We don't have the hand on the big toe, but we're using a strap instead. So left leg straight up, right leg straight down. Now, we can't see the right leg. We're not looking at it with our eyes, but we can feel it. So put your awareness into the right leg, reach through the right foot, and press the back of your right thigh into the ground. Spread the toes. Take a long, slow, smooth breath in. With a long, slow, smooth breath out, pull the left leg in any amount more. We're not opening to the side just yet. Yeah, feel the work of your legs. That's it. Good. Couple more. The other thing that you can play with here, which is really nice, you've got all that work in the legs going on, but if you were to feel the relationship of your hands to your upper back, because you'll get a nice opening in your chest. If you feel as if your hands are communicating with your upper back, so your arms are actually plugging into the body. And the arms can be straight or bent, but there's just this sense of relationship. Yeah, now like as if you were going to insert your arms. Yeah, yeah. Good. Take both ends of the strap in just your left hand. Make sure that block is ready, and then start to open your left leg out to the left. Right hand can take the right hip just to keep the right hip toning down, the right belly toning down. Let the block stop the leg. Let maybe the upper left arm bone stop the leg. Press down the back of your right thigh. Now, with your right hand, come over to the left side of your belly and roll your belly from left to right and tone down the right waist. Tone down the right oblique muscles. And breathe in and breathe out. Good. Now, deep inside your left hip socket, more external rotation. Exactly, yup. Baby toe towards the ground before outer heel. Baby toe. That's it, Marnie. Baby toe towards the ground before outer heel. Externally rotate deep inside your left hip. Breathing in. That's it. And breathing out. Just one more. Inhaling and exhaling. On the next inhalation, swing the leg slowly back up to the center. Change the hand on the strap. Bend the right leg for a second. Step on the right foot. Scoot the butt 1 inch or so to the left. Move the block out of your way if you need to. Re-stretch your right leg straight down, and now take your left leg all the way across into your twist. Yeah, and if you want to use the block under your right leg coming across, that's fine. Good. Now, the assist that I gave you all, you can do yourself. Dig your left hand, your free hand, into the very top of your left thigh. And then dig down and roll, roll that outer hip out of your waist. IT band. If you want to. It makes it that much more intense. Let your belly turn to the left, and then when you're ready, you can reach your left arm out to the left and look over your left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. As you roll the hip down, the foot doesn't have to go any lower. It's just the hip.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you think the foot wants to go, but the foot doesn't need to go. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Good. Actually, more than 2 breaths. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah, and then there's a nice deep twist going on as well, along with the work in the legs. And inhale, swing that leg back up to the center. Release the strap and hug both knees into your chest. That's it. Class is over. It's all you need. Roll to your right side. Swing around and come up to your hands and knees. So on all fours, just begin to cat-cow your spine. So on your inhalation, just arch your spine, lift your face, and gaze up. And then on your exhalation, push the floor away and round the back and hollow the belly and scoop the tailbone. On your inhalation, flex your feet so the feet get a little bit of a work as well, a little bit of flexibility as well. Lift your face and look up. On your exhalation, just point your feet round your back, scoop your tailbone, and hollow out your belly. Do one more of those. On the inhalation, flex the feet, arch the spine, lift the face, and gaze forward. That's it, Martin. On the exhalation, round the back, point the feet, hollow the belly, take the chin to the chest. Inhale and come to neutral. Tuck your toes underneath and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. So again, here you are opening up the backs of your legs. It's not unlike the work you did on your back already, right? You're going to think about rooting your thigh bones back into your hamstrings. So moving the fronts of the legs into the backs of the legs, take the feet further back to about there almost. Now turn your hands so that they're straight ahead. They're not turned in at all. Yeah, spread all your fingers actually, that's it. Yeah, spread your fingers open. Relate your hands well into the earth. That's your connection, that's your asana, that's your seat. Squeeze the arms straight, let the head drop, and press the fronts of the legs into the backs of the legs. So open up the backs of your legs. And liberate from that action of anchoring your pelvis back into your legs, liberate your entire spine. Good. Just take a few more breaths. Drop down to your knees. Grab your block. Take this variation of child's pose. Take your feet together, take your knees apart. Now, if you're sensitive at all, put your blanket out on your mat. If you have like bony knees or any sorts of bony feet, otherwise you're going to do this. Rather than hold the block like this, hold the block with the heel of the hand, and then slide the elbows forward and take the head to the floor. So we have child's pose with this added bonus of opening up the shoulders and the upper back. Good. So root the buttocks into the feet. Anchor the buttocks into the legs. Let the forehead rest on the floor. Let the skin of your face soften. Slide your left arm further forward. Slide your right arm further forward. So slide the elbows more forward and open up the backs of your upper arms, your triceps. Take a few more deep breaths here. Spread your fingers, fan your fingers off the block. That's it. Allow your legs to fold. It's like, this is a good compression. We think of sometimes yoga like all of this flexibility, this extension. We actually also want the folding of the body. So there's a compression of your calves and your hamstrings, flushing any lactic acid out of those legs through that compression. Good, now release the block. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Let's just twist. So here on your hands and knees on all fours, slide this left arm under your right arm, crawl it to the right. Lay the left shoulder right in the midline, lay the head right in the midline, and then take your right fingertips anywhere that they're useful to you and push and turn with the right hand so that you're spinning yourself into a twist. Now the hips will tend to swing to the right here, so bring them back into the center, and then push and turn with the right fingertips a little bit more. So we have the inhalation and the exhalation. We have qualities in the practice of effort and surrender. Let your inhalation be the more receptive aspect. Receive that breath all the way down your body, into your pelvis, into your legs as you exhale. A little more fiery, a little more effortful. Spin more, twist more, turn more on your exhalation. Good. Now press the right hand into the floor and slide yourself slowly up to your center, up to hands and knees. And take the second side. Slide the right arm underneath you. Lay the right shoulder, lay the right side of your head on the ground. Beautiful. Push and turn. Begin to push and turn with the left hand. Notice which way your hips have shifted and just bring them right into the center, right over your knees, so you set the foundation of your pose. And then you exhale and turn. Receive the in-breath all the way down the body. And then exhale, push and turn with the fingertips of the right hand or the palm of the right hand, whatever's working for you is fine there. Good, Joyce. Swing your hips slightly to the right. Yeah. And more so, like, think about pulling back your outer left hip again, kind of like we did on our backs. Yup, pulling back, anchoring back the left thigh bone. That's it. Take one more. Like more there. Now even feel where your feet are. And yeah, just clarify what the feet are doing. Good. Now inhale back to center slowly. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet this time in your dog pose. Good, and then slowly just walk your feet forward until they meet your hands. Separate your feet sitting bone distance apart, comfortably apart, and allow, we have one block. Okay, so if you need to, bend your knees a little bit and just place your hands on that one block. So depending on your hamstrings, right? Some of you may not need this. If your hands comfortably touch the floor, let them just touch the floor. So check it out. Yep, there you go. And then let your head drop. Dangle the head. You could even turn the head a little bit from side to side. Now everyone has the knees bent right now. Just go ahead and soften the legs a little bit. Bend the knees. Feel the feet. Feel the feet relating to the earth. Feel the spread of your feet into the earth. That's your asana, your seat, your connection. Now from that connection, straighten your legs and pull the energy of your legs up. So it's the same work you did on your back. It's the same work you do in downward facing dog. We're opening up the backs of the legs. We're moving the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. That's it. Now from the pillars of the legs, from the steadiness of the legs, from the columns of the legs, let your spine release down. It's cascading out of your pelvis like a waterfall. More and more space as you breathe, more and more space coming between each vertebrae. Good. And the resistance in the body is there. We feel it. We know it. It's there. We think we know it. But allow it to be, the lesson of impermanence. Like it's changing all the time. So don't necessarily define it. Like I know this tightness in my hamstrings. It's always been there. It will always be there. Because that's not the case. Okay, soften your knees. Roll yourself all the way up to stand. You okay, Martin? Come to the front of your mat, standing at the front of your mat. Okay. So stretch your arms straight up and just close your eyes for a moment and just reach up through your fingertips as you root down through your feet. So you're in Urdhva Hastasana, just upward reaching hands pose. That's it. Good. Reach straight up through your fingertips. Reach straight down through your feet. Take one more breath. And exhale, release your arms by your sides. Good. Okay. Now, inhale, swing your arms up again. Take your arms straight up. On your exhalation, soften your knees and just fold all the way down and put your fingertips on the floor. Good. In the lower back. Why don't you try... Come to, what about coming to this position? Again, with the belt, like take this right, and just kind of rest with your head on that bolster. And just hang out there for a bit. Good, everyone else, inhale and pull your heart forward and gaze forward. Exhale, step your right leg back to a lunge pose. And then just place your palms on the floor and slide back to plank pose. And this pose requires some effort, but there's no need to make it overly difficult or overly tense in the body. So just hang out here, rock your weight from hand to hand, from foot to foot, maybe close your eyes. And where is the aspect of restoration here? You're totally neutral, you're totally symmetrical. That in and of itself is creating a sense of ease in the body, a sense of just like this overall sense of balance in the body. Good, and then exhale, travel back to downward facing dog. We're gonna take pigeon pose. So go ahead when you're ready and slide your right leg into pigeon. So we'll get into those hips a bit more. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist and bring the foot behind the left wrist. So you have a block, you have a blanket, you have what you need. If you're really tight and this butt is way up here, put something underneath there. We don't want to though, we don't want to fall to the right, but nor do we want to be like too dependent on that prop. Good. So then drop down onto your forearms and breathe into that right hip. Back leg, go ahead and walk it back a little bit more. Slip that knee back, slip that whole leg back. Yeah. Now, internally, we talked a bit about rotation in our other poses. Internally rotate your back leg. So that means, in this case, it means you're going to roll your left inner thigh, your left inner knee, your left inner calf to the sky, to the ceiling. And that's going to help square your hips. Good. Externally rotate your right leg to move deeper inside that right hip. Now again, let your breath massage your spine, moving down on the inhalation. Good, sliding up and out on the exhalation. Good, Martin, that's it. And then walk this leg to the midline. Yeah, everyone, that left leg kind of wings out to the left, it likes to. Step it over to the midline. Good, Terry, that's it. Inhaling through your nose. Stay for 3 more breaths and exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more, breathe in. And breathe out. Go ahead and walk your hands all the way back in. Push into your hands, step back to downward facing dog with a quality of ease. Heavy head, soft eyes. Good. Step the right foot between the hands. Step the left foot forward between the right foot and fold over your leg. So just step your right foot forward. Just step your right foot forward. Nope, we're not going to pigeon yet. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Exhale and drop the head and fold forward. That's it. Inhale, circle the arms all the way back up to standing. So we're coming back up to stand first, and then we'll have our second side. And then exhale, release your arms by your sides. Good. Okay, now inhale, take your arms up over your head, gaze up to your hands. Exhale and dive forward over your legs and place your hands on the floor. Inhale and look forward. Exhale, now step your left leg back. Then step your right leg back and be in plank pose. You all just didn't want to do plank pose again.
That's so clever.
Rock the weight hand to hand, foot to foot. Lift the belly towards the spine, deepen the tailbone. Soften the neck, look slightly out in front of you, open your heart, that's it. Open across the collarbones. And then let your legs just pull you back into downward facing dog. Legs pull you back into dog pose. Yeah, now take left leg into pigeon pose. Left knee behind the left wrist and foot behind the right wrist. Slide the back leg back, just, yeah, inch it back. And then when you're ready, go ahead, release forward. Good. Yeah, if you had something under the left hip or under the right hip on the first side, you may or may not need it on the second side. It might be quite different. Feels like 2 different bodies sometimes, right and left side. Good. Internally rotate your right leg more, so your right inner thigh, your right inner knee, your right inner calf roll to the sky. Externally rotate your left leg more so you get more opening deep inside your left hip. And then focus on your breath. The breath is your music today. Long, slow, smooth breath in. Long, slow, smooth breath out. These restorative poses, sometimes they are just holding poses in general. Sometimes the mind is, we notice it wanders, it gets busier. We like to, do, go, and then we're being asked to just stop and hold these poses for a little bit longer. So see where the mind goes, notice where the mind goes, notice the chatter of the mind, the turnings, the vrittis of the mind, but then just keep bringing your attention back to your breath and allow the body, give the body a chance to open. Sometimes we're in poses for 3 breaths, 5 breaths, 8 breaths, it's not enough. The body's just starting to settle and just starting to feel safe, and we're transitioning out. Good. Slide your hands all the way back in. Was that enough time? And step back, downward facing dog. Is your whole life changed from one pose? Good. Downward dog. And then when you're ready, step your left foot forward. Yep. And then step your right foot forward and fold into your legs, over your legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up to stand. Come all the way up. Gaze up to your hands. Press your palms together this time if you haven't. Gaze up to your hands. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Good. Take tree pose. Take your right leg up. Vrikshasana. So this is a lot like when we open the leg to the side on our backs. So what you're going to do, stay in tree, go into tree, but you're going to, this leg, your open leg, your tree pose leg, think about pressing the knee. Actually, you actually take your hand on the knee, press the knee back, but don't let your whole body turn. So press your knee back, but then take your left hand over to the right side of your belly, roll your belly from right to left, and tone back your left waist. So you're getting this beautiful opening across the front of your pelvis and across your belly. Then when you're ready, just stretch your arms up. Maybe. You don't have to go this far. And then just focus your eyes, focus your drishti, focus your gaze steady on a point. Good. Yeah, you can use a wall if you need to. Feel free. Let the right knee press back, but let the left belly slide to the left. That's it, Terry. Even more, roll the belly from right to left and tone back the left obliques, the left waist. Yeah, and keep pressing the right knee open so you get this big opening through the right groin. Good. Release your arms, release your right leg, stand on 2 feet. Second side, bring your left leg up. Vrikshasana. Press foot to thigh and thigh to foot. Yeah. Press your left knee back and let your right belly roll to let your left belly roll over to the right side. Yeah. Now take your arms up. Good, if you can. And then steady your gaze on a point out in front of you, somewhere eye level or so. Let the left buttocks flesh drop a little bit. That left hip will tend to hike up here. So a little more external rotation. Allow the left buttocks to release down towards the floor as you stretch up through the arms. Feel the clarity through your arms. Feel the energy through the fingers. And release and stand on 2 feet. On your next inhalation, sweep up, gaze up to hands. Exhale, you can soften the knees if you need to and dive forward and down. Inhale and lengthen, look forward. Exhale, just walk yourself back to downward facing dog. Nice and easy. Just walk, walk, walk all the way back to dog pose. Good. We're going to now step the right foot between the hands. Right foot forward this time. And then turn down your left heel and take your right forearm up onto your right thigh and your left hand up onto your left hip so you're facing sideways. Yeah. So it's actually all the same work. That's it, Martin. We can stay here. This is fine. You could also choose to drop your right hand down to a block or to the floor on the inside of your right foot and maybe stretch the left arm up. If you do take your arm down, push your arm against your knee and push your knee back the same way you did in tree pose. And then roll your belly up to the ceiling the same way you did in tree pose. So roll your belly from bottom to top and open up the left side of the body. That's it, Terry. Take 2 more breaths here. Good. That's it, Marnie. Now just turn and face the floor. Take both hands down to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Release slowly down onto your abdomen, all the way to the belly. Good. Take the arms down by the sides. And just one Shalabhasana here. So just lift up your head, your legs, and your chest. Breathing in and breathing out. There you go. Good. And exhale, release down. Push your hands into the floor. To transition back to dog pose, flex your feet first. Push your sitting bones towards your heels and then go ahead and slowly straighten your legs into downward facing dog. Good. Now you'll step the left foot between the hands and turn down the right heel. Take the left forearm up onto the left thigh. Take the right hand up onto the right hip. Now you're facing the other side. Good. Hang out here for a second. Feel the opposition in your legs. Put a little more weight on the outside edge of your right foot. Line up your left heel with the instep of your right foot. Maybe drop your left hand to the block or to the floor. Maybe take your right arm up. Roll your belly from bottom to top, which is left to right, as you press back that left knee as you did in tree pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Enjoy the breath. Let the breath nourish the body. Every cell of the body receives that breath. Good. Turn and face the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Good. Come forward to plank pose. Lower all the way to the abdomen again. Take your arms by your sides, point your toes. Inhale, contraction of the back body, lift everything up. Breathing 1. Breathing 2. Now replace the hands, change the hands, put the hands like cobra hands, cobra arms, but a little further back. So hands can be in line with the navel, and keep lifting. Good, Joyce, that's it. Keep lifting. Good, Terry. Keep lifting your legs as well. It's just a different variation. That's it, yup. And then exhale, release all the way down. Good, tuck your toes underneath you, press your buttocks to your heels, and press all the way back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way through to sit down. And sit down on your butt. Walk your feet all the way through to sit. Okay, so, yeah, take your legs into a straddle position. And have your block, you need your strap? You might need your strap, but have your block within reach for sure. Okay, so we're going to just place the block actually up against the right inner thigh. And it could be inner thigh. For some of us it's going to be knee. For some of us it's going to be calf. So what we're going to do is you're turning a little bit away from the block or away from that right leg, and then you're going to start to slide your right arm down. Now, it might be that this is as far as I get. So that's where I want my block. It might be that I can go a little bit further. So this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to bend this elbow and literally let my head rest in this hand. So this is restorative. I'm not having to hold up my head. I'm going to let the head rest in the hand. This arm is going to just start to stretch over. Now there's the same kind of turning that we looked at on our backs and that we looked at in side angle pose. The feet are flexed, the legs are active. So feel here. Go ahead when you're ready. Yeah. And you could do this pose without the block if you're someone that the elbow easily comes down to the ground. That might not be the case for all of us, but you could try it. Now as you reach the left fingertips for that right foot, the left hip lifts up, right? The left sitting bone lifts up. Bring your attention back into the left side and press the left thigh down. Release the left buttock bone down. So big intercostal stretch, opening up. Yeah, actually, Martin, stay up on your butt, though. Stay all the way up here. No need to go any further than that. So, no, stay on your hips. Open your legs as wide as you can. Press the backs of your legs down. Now, take this arm over the head. Yeah. 2 more breaths. And inhale and lift. Exhale. Second side. It's a good one. Intercostals, it opens up the breath. It opens up those muscles between the ribs. Good, so the block is on the inside of the left leg. Slide the left arm down on the inside of that block. When you're ready, take the right arm over the head. So don't let the right hip lift, Martin. Keep the right hip down. Yes. So then the right arm just stretches over any amount. There's a turning, there's a little bit of a twist taking place. Let your head, if it can, let your head rest in your left hand and really release, that's it, release the muscles of your neck. What's the matter? And then extend through your right arm. Extend through that top arm. Reach through the fingertips. Good. Take 2 more breaths. And inhale, lift. Exhale. Now keep the legs open as they are, but start to take your block and slide it forward on the floor. And just see where you get with it. Flex the feet, spread the toes, and come on down. Upavishta Konasana. And so let me preface this pose by saying, come on up for 1 second. So Marnie, maybe if you are really rounded in your back, take your blanket or even your bolster or even your block and sit up, because what you need to do is inner spiral and get this to move in a little bit and then start to come forward, because you don't want to start your forward bend like this, because you could actually injure your lower back, which is why I was asking you about back bends versus forward bends, because this is worse than those little mini back bends are actually really rehabilitative. So sit up and then do this, do inner spiral. Pull your buttocks flesh out and to the sides. Now put your hands out in front of you, and this could be it, and that's fine. Press the backs of the legs down. If you can go further, go further. But more importantly, press the backs of your legs down. Spread the toes, open up the soles of your feet, yeah. And feel your lower spine, your lumbar, moving slightly in. So you're leading with your heart to come forward. Yeah. And for some of us, the resistance here is in the hamstrings, but for some of us, it's the inner thighs with our legs apart like this. So wherever it's at, it is what it is. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it come, let it go. Just a few more breaths. Soften around any sort of judgment, any sense of beating yourself up about it. And then lift up. Yeah, you could try. Yeah, try it again if you want to. Good. Bring your legs together now in Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Same thing. If you want to stay, you stay seated up on something. Put your feet together. Take your hands behind you and start by actually trying to take more of a back bend. So sit up tall and move the lower back into the body. Lift the chest. Now put your hands on the floor in front of you. Pull the floor towards you. We did cat-cow. Think about doing cat-cow, this inhale and exhale action. Think about moving into your forward bend with more of that back bend, with a little bit of that back bend. And then exhale, crawl forward, the head releases, the tailbone tucks slightly. So there's cat-cow in every pose. We could play with every single pose. Well, the block is a little hard of a surface. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Longer, slower, smoother. We'll stay 5 more breaths here. And longer, slower, smoother exhalation. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. And even just sitting up tall for some of us is the pose. Yep. 2 more breaths. Move, for a lot of us, it's that middle back, upper back that's really tight. Move the heart forward. Slide the heart forward. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale and just close your legs. Bring your legs together. Come into a squatting position with your feet about mat's distance apart. Yep. And then just open up these hips, these groins, these inner thighs. Rock a little bit side to side, foot to foot. Drop your head, release your head forward, release your chin towards your chest, crawl your fingertips out in front of you. Press your knees away from each other. Press the inner knees to the outer knees. Open up the inner thigh, like we did in tree pose, like we did in side angle pose. Now parallel your feet and slowly straighten your legs into Uttanasana, your standing forward bend. And walk back to downward facing dog. Good. Good. 1 more standing pose here. Step your right foot forward. Now grab your block and place it on the outside edge of your right foot. turn down your left heel, and you have 3 heights of the block to choose from. You have low height, mid height, high height, depending on your hamstrings. Straighten both legs, hand on the block. Yep. Now this is again like when we opened our leg out to the side on the floor. This is your leg that you opened out to the side, your right leg, your front leg. Now roll your belly up to the ceiling. Take your left arm straight up and look at that left hand. Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good, 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Big inhale, press into the left foot and come up to stand. Exhale, bend the right knee to warrior 2. Inhale and circle your hands to the floor. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Turn down the right heel. Get your block ready, any height. And straighten both legs. That's it, good. Now when you're ready, roll your belly up to the ceiling. You could even use your right hand to encourage your right waist to tone back, your right obliques to tone back, and then take your right arm up. Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Good. And then press the right foot down. Inhale, stand up. Exhale and bend the left knee to warrior 2. Inhale, circle the hands down next to that front foot and step back to downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to walk through from dog pose. Just walk yourself all the way through to sit and lie down on your backs. Have your block at the ready. Bend your knees. Put your feet on the floor. We're just going to start to wind down. Supported bridge pose. So again, you have 3 heights to choose from. Lift your hips up. And if you want, you could try going up to the highest height. And most likely you have to lift the heels to do that. You could also go to the mid height. You could also go to the low height. You want your block to create a little bit of traction in your lower back. So hold the sides of your block for a second and push the block slightly towards your knees as you pull your lower back towards your head. As you lengthen that lower back and wiggle those back ribs off that back waist towards the head. Does that make sense? So you just feel, it feels like your pants are getting pulled down in the back. Little lower back traction. Then relax your arms. Turn the palms of your hands to face up. Close your eyes and allow everything to begin to settle. So supported bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Curl your shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Let the palms of your hands face upwards. Roll a tiny bit more weight to the inside edge of your foot and allow your knees to release towards each other. Along with that, your belly should feel a little more concave, a little more contained. Now take a longer, slower, smoother breath in that you feel that openness in your heart, that expansion of your chest. And a longer, slower, smoother breath out where you feel more of the toning of the belly, the containing of the front body, and the opening of the back body. And just follow this breath at the exclusion of everything else, so you're bringing the mind to a single point. Training the mind to just rest on a single object, and the object right now is the breath. It could be anything. We're just choosing the breath. You have a thought coming in or a mental image popping up, just notice it. Return your attention to your breath. Lift your hips off that block when you're ready, slowly. Squeeze the buttocks and lift the hips. Remove the block. Now take soles of feet together, knees apart in Supta Baddha Konasana, but we're going to take the feet onto the block. So you can just kind of slip it under there at its vertical length so that, yeah. Good. Now again, you're going to give yourself a little traction. You're going to grip a hold of the sides of your sticky mat, your yoga mat, and push the mat towards the windows and then pull your lower back in the opposite direction. And then rest one hand now on the belly and one hand on the heart with the eyes closed. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Now any manipulation of the breath at this point, start to let it go. So any ujjayi breath, any sort of controlled breath, start to let that go. So that the breath is becoming more and more subtle and probably silent. Let your legs drop open, the belly rise and fall. Let thought come and go, let physical sensation come and go. Without gripping, without attaching, without pushing anything away, just receiving and then letting back out. The breath, the coming and the going of the breath is a metaphor for that practice of letting things come and letting things go. Because as we know, the lesson of impermanence or the lesson of things changing all the time, it doesn't discriminate. Whenever you're ready, you can stretch your legs out into Shavasana. If you're happy here and you want to stay a bit longer, feel free to do so. And if you're stretching out into Shavasana, make sure you stay warm. It's warm out today, but if there's any chill at all, cover yourself with a blanket, drop your arms, drop your legs, and take rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Slowly bringing yourself back, swimming yourself back to the surface. And when you're ready, just slowly draw your knees up into your chest and pause there. Let the lower back widen into the earth. Let the legs fold in. Again, that compression of your legs, squeezing out toxins. And then roll to your right side and pause again and just really feel like you're resting, like you're sleeping, like you're dropping the body into the earth. Continuing that movement towards Shavasana, even though we're beginning to transition up to sit. Now with a heavy head and maybe even closed eyes, begin to push your left hand, your top hand, into the floor and kind of lazily, reluctantly draw yourself up to a seated position. Sit on your bolster, sit on a block, sit on a blanket, whatever works for you. But most of us need some elevation under the seat to sit up well, to sit up with ease. So find a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. And just bring your attention to the breath at the tip of your nose and follow the stream of air coming in and the stream of air moving back out. Again, this breath is not manipulated at this point. It's not controlled. It probably has no sound. Fold the hands at the center of your heart. Bow your head to your lifted chest. Bow to your inner teacher, the inner light, the inner guru. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Namaste. Thank you.